Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to answer a question that I feel is quite relevant now in the current situation we're in, and that question is, will a multipolar world serve our future better? For a while now, there's been a lot of discussion about what the future of the world politically, economically, and geographically might look like. In the past few decades, we've seen a unipolar setup with the United States sort of being the leader of the world. But with recent events, the potential for a multipolar setup with more than one superpower having hegemony in their geographical locations seems to be growing. It would be great to know what the future of the world will look like, and the Bible might offer us important information that can give us an idea of what it is. To start, I'd like to turn our attention to Christ's second coming, because according to the scriptures, it is during the last days that Jesus as king would rule in the midst of his enemies, if you read Psalm 110 verse 2. This is not necessarily in the future, because the signs that Christ said would signal his coming in Matthew chapter 24 verses 7 and 8 have already fulfilled, namely that nations across the globe would fight against themselves and there would be worldwide conflict. This happened during the two world wars. The Bible further notes in Psalm 72 verses 1 and 2 that Christ's coming is actually for the purpose of judgment. Give the king thy judgments, O God, and thy righteousness unto the king's son. He shall judge thy people with righteousness and thy poor with judgment. This judgment is a bit like an investigation, a period where Christ the king investigates the activities of man and gives every person their due, if you read Matthew chapter 16 verse 27. Paul said that all people would be judged during this period. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that every one might receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10. To make it simple, Christ described it as a harvest, during which the owner of a farm makes a thorough investigation of his crops, in Matthew chapter 13 verses 38 to 43. Egypt was similarly under judgment when God came to rescue his people from bondage. During that period, whatever the Egyptians did, good or bad, was judged, and that was why the 10 plagues fell on them as they refused to release his people. So what does this have to do with multipolarity and unipolarity? Well, Christ is king of all parts of the world, not just one section of it, according to Luke chapter 22 verse 30 and Isaiah chapter 2 verse 2. Thus, for him to judge the world, all people would have to be united somehow. Christ said in Matthew chapter 25 verses 31 to 33 that the world would be gathered before him so that judgment could take place. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. It's not surprising that in the past several decades, many new inventions have been introduced to make humans work together, communicate internationally, and really live as one people. The internet with its uncountable social media networks is a big example. Global supply chains have the same effect in the economic system. Standards for education, transportation, and manufacturing have been set universally and are respected by most countries. And the many branches of the United Nations, including the International Monetary Fund and UNESCO, have been established in almost all countries in the world. Thus, unipolarity in the political and economic sectors advances God's purpose in a way that multipolarity might not. And it doesn't really look like the world will forsake things such as the internet anytime soon. So, we can be confident that the world will develop more and more in that direction. When God would use nations and kingdoms for judgment, he also established some form of unipolarity. According to the scriptures, King Nebuchadnezzar was God's servant, if you read Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 9, chapter 27 verse 6, and chapter 43 verse 10, because of the role he played in executing his anger against the rebellious Jews. At that time, Babylon was the greatest kingdom in that entire region. But after God Almighty was finished with it, it began to descend, and the Medes and Persians became the greatest power. This is in fulfillment of what he said using Jeremiah the prophet in Jeremiah chapter 27, verses 6 and 7. And now I have given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon, my servant. And the beasts of the field have I given him also to serve him. And all nations shall serve him, and his son's son, until the very time of his land come. And then many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of him. So as long as the current political, social, and economic institutions serve God's purpose, they'll thrive and prosper as they're doing today. In Revelation chapter 17, verse 17, Christ revealed to John that the nations would come together and act as one body under institutions like the United Nations, so long as that serves God's purpose. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. But the bottom line is that the purpose of God will fulfill, even if the world starts to transition to multipolarity as it seems now. God assured us about this many times using Isaiah the prophet, especially in Isaiah chapter 46, verses 9 to 11. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executeth my counsel from a far country. Yea, I have spoken it, I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it, I will also do it. And that is where I'm going to stop on talking about this question. Will a multipolar world serve our future better? It may look like the world is becoming multipolar with multiple superpowers that have control over their geographical areas, but really, regardless of whether the world becomes unipolar or multipolar or bipolar or whatever system will come up, his purpose will still fulfill, and to us as children of God, that's what's most important. If you enjoyed this video, then we'd really appreciate if you click the like button and also the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when we come back with future videos just like this, then you can click the notification bell. And if you have any questions about what we said in this video, then you can put them in the comment section below and we will answer them. Have a good day and God bless you.